I use the Insta360 X5 on my latest gig in GreenBay. Let's get into it. What's up, my fearless friends? My name is Shayshahn, PhearNone MacPherson. I like to talk tech, apparel, and gear for DJs, musicians, and artists alike. Today in the studio, I have the Insta360 X5, but let's unbox it before I even talk about it. Let's go over some quick specs on the Insta360 X5, which I'll call the X5 from now on. The highest resolution it can go up to is 8K 30. It's downsampled from 11K to 8K 30. So you got 8K 30, 8K 25, and 8K 24. It has a 6mm lens on it, and it gives you a wide field of view. Its aperture is 2.0, and it can go 4K 120 for more slow motion and action shots. You have H.265 and H.264. The lowest ISO you have on this is 100. It goes up to 6400. It uses USB-C 3.0 to connect, and you can go down to 49 feet with this camera. But I would still suggest getting the housing, because in the water you won't see anything clear. You still need the housing to see anything with it when you go down deep. The sound is 48 kilohertz, 16-bit. So I took this gear, I took this Insta360, which I bought with my own money at B&H last week when it came out for the public, and it was perfect because I had a gig down at the NFL draft, actually, in Green Bay, Wisconsin, with the Funky Nomads, one of the bands I performed with, and Jizza Wu-Tang Clan. We performed out there, and I thought it was a perfect time for me to grab the X5 and use it and just show it as a vlog piece, as a piece on the stage as a musician. Even though I could have placed it in a better place, it still was a great tool to have. And I know about the Insta360s because I have the X3, but the 8K on this takes it to another level as far as cropping in and using it at night. So let me show you my workflow of using their desktop app, Insta360 or Insta360 Studio. I just basically use that to get the footage as high up as I can in spec, and then move it all to Final Cut. So let's get into that. So make sure you download Insta360 Studio 5.6.1. That's the latest update that came out when they brought out the X5. And basically what I like to do is take my SD card or mini SD card out of the camera. You can actually just plug the camera into your computer, but I'll show you the way I do it. All you want to do is pinch right there, and the SD card is inside here. I don't know if you can see it. Get that out. And there's your SD card, mini SD card. So then you want to get a converter like this. Or you might have a hub, like the Anchor hub, that will take mini and full size. For my MacBook Pro M1 Max, I'm going to use this. And I just plug it in to the side of the computer. So now let's get into the Insta360 software and how I move that over. So basically, you see I have my files. I pulled them off of the SD drive just because it's a faster experience if you have it coming off something like a Samsung T7 drive. And then I'm just going to highlight these and pull them over. And now I have my footage, my 6 clips. And it's a lot of footage because I got the whole show. And I just got my, day throughout the airport and meeting up with the other homies from the band and, performing. So what I would do is just highlight all of that. Then go down here to export. And you see export here. You want to make sure you click 360 video. We're going to leave it at original. I like to put it to, H.265. And it's video, of course. You can hit remove grain if you had a lot of night footage. but the 8K tends to usually do well. But I'm not going to hit remove grain, even though I had some night footage. You can use Dolby Vision, which is very cool, but you have to use 4K or below, and I used 8K. What I definitely hit is anti-flicker. I have no direction lock, no logo on the bottom, but I will keep the flow state stabilization. So I have the best footage I can get. And this is telling me that these 6 clips are 43 gig. And then you just hit start export and you can send that, what I would do is send it back to my T7 drive so I could work off that drive and not put 43 gig onto my computer's drive. But you can do what you want with that and send the footage where you want. And then we would just hit start export. So once you download and create your file in Final Cut and upload your videos, they will have a little circle right here that stands for orientation. And you click that orientation and you can go in here and move stuff in a 360 manner, as you can see. Or you can come over here to the sides and affect the tilt, the pan, and your field of view. Let me get this upright. And you can zoom, go to the little world view, zoom in, especially since we're in 8K. It's not gonna mess up the footage that much, or degrade the quality, I should say. And I just found it to be, way better with this 8K option, as you can see. One thing really annoying with this camera is the beginning setup. Had to go through a million menus. And we're getting a little bit of, had to go through micro jitters here, which I notice happens with the camera sometimes. A million menus. So one thing I guess I could do for that is flow state. I guess I would have to figure out how to stabilize some of that to get some of those micro jitters out. It would be here in stabilization. But that could take a while. First, I would want to edit, then hit stabilization. But this is me, running through the airport. I also have other footage, which you'll see in my other video. When you first get the footage, it kind of looks like this until you pull it down. And once you get it down here, then it looks as it should. And what I really like about this is just the fact that it's 360, footage. You can 8K. And I just love the fact that I can, figure out where I want to point the camera later on. And, that's the biggest allure of this 360. And because I have the 360, this version right here, the stick, it disappears in the frame, as you can see here. And it's really clear, 8K footage, especially in the daytime. And that's us setting up on the stage. Let me bring some more down so you can see some night footage. Yeah, and this is us walking at night. It gets a little grainy here because it's dark where I'm walking. But as you can see, it's still, if you've had an Insta360 camera before, the footage, the quality just jumped up with this 8K 30. As you can see, this is us walking to the stage. I must have got something on the camera here.
So you can see like what the...
And the sound is good. This is us rushing to the stage from the green room they had for us. And you see, I didn't have it pointed up the stairs, but now I could just point it like that. And we know how 360 works. Some settings I would suggest, I just wanted to throw in, is that you go up to high if you want the best footage. When you have it in just pure video, flow state is on. But if you're in a dark environment, you want pure video. And that's why you're getting some of the micro jitters that you see. I just wanted to show you guys that.
Remind me how this was. Is this close to how you had it?
It's over here.
It was there. Okay.
And this is some of the show. And this is a really long clip. But what's good about this Insta360 X5 is that you can record for 88 minutes in 8K 30. So I was able to get a lot of this whole show and some of the day traveling. And as you can see, this is a lot of footage, but right there is pointed at the amp. And of course, we're going to change that orientation like that. But ideally, I would have put it in front of me. I just didn't want it to fall over on the glass, even though you can replace it. But yeah, that's me with the band. You can get a great view. It would have been even better if it had been in front of me. So the camera between me and the crowd, you know. And that's probably what I'll do next time. As long as I can figure out a way to do it without knocking the camera over. But yeah, that's basically it in your workflow, you know, using the Insta360 Studio straight to Final Cut. Yeah, that's basically it. And if you want to see the video, it's going to be on my other channel, you know, PhearNone 7, where I just show performances and me traveling. So that's the Insta360 X5. Let me know what you think about it thus far. I still got to, you know, run my paces with it, but I appreciate you guys stopping by and seeing how I use it. I think it could be a great tool for DJs to show yourself DJing and show the crowd. I need to make sure that I always put it between myself and the crowd instead of behind me. I think it would be real cool if you had two of them so you can take from, you know, an above angle and below. But, you know, that's just my experience with it. I did have some pain points with the gear, and I know some people have some pain points with the company's practices as far as paying people, you know, for reviews and stuff. I didn't get paid for this review, and it definitely was an annoying piece of gear when I first turned it on and had to run through all these preferences when I just wanted to get up and going. You gotta leave yourself time to set it up for sure and know how you want to set it up. I do like that you can change the lenses. I think that's one of the major pros that everybody likes about this camera, that you can finally change the lenses, because I definitely have a little bit of scratch on my X3 here. But, you know, that's basically it. I'll try to show myself DJing with it more. I have a DJ gig coming up. I'll let you know more about this and whether I'm going to keep it or whether I think it's worth $500. Once again, my name is Shayshahn, PhearNone MacPherson. Thanks for stopping by, Gear and Gadgets. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my video of my whole day going to GreenBay and performing, because I flew on the same day and went out there. But you can check that on my performance page, PhearNone 7. All right? Peace.